Good afternoon and welcome to After School Snack Time. We are so glad you're here. Hello, friends. It is so good to see you. Is this your first time joining us for After School Snack Time? Have you joined us before? Whether this is your first time, your second time, you don't know how many times you've joined us. We are delighted that you are here with us today. I am Miss Parker. I'm the Financial Education and Community Outreach Ambassador for the Credit Union, and I'm here with Miss Rusalina, the Savings Kangaroo. She plans all of these fun things, and I have the privilege of hanging out with her and with you. And boy, do we have some great things planned today. Each week, we have a snack and we have a story, and Miss Rosalina picks out some great things. So let's head on over to the snack table to find out what we are having today. Roasted chestnuts. Oh my goodness. This is such a lovely winter treat. Let's make our way into the kitchen to find out all about this delicious and nutritious snack. Who's ready for snack?
Me!
I am excited about today's snack. How many of you have had roasted chestnuts before? I hear some yeses and I hear a lot of no's, and that's okay. I have had these before and they are one of my favorite snacks. They're so delicious and they're very nutritious. But I have a confession. I am not roasting my own chestnuts. I have tried and I have tried, but I can never get them quite right.
Why don't we try it again doing it?
We should try it again. Maybe we will. But for today, I've bought some because I find that there are some people that just make them really, really well. So I'll leave it to the professionals. All right, here we go. Let's see. Take one out. Now, when you roast them, they're going to be in shells and you have to crack them open. But this one is already roasted and taken out of the shell and it's ready to eat. All right, let's taste it. All right. Mmm. That is delicious. What do you think?
It's okay.
Okay. What do you think?
Uh-uh.
We have a it's okay and and I think it's delicious. And sometimes when we try new things, that can happen. We don't like everything we try. Now here's the question. Would you eat this again?
If I had to. No.
We have an if I had to, a no, and I would definitely try them again. So I would encourage you, friends, to maybe give it a try, and maybe you'll be like me and really like it and want to eat them again. And maybe you'll be like my friends here that think they're okay and some that aren't a fan. And that is totally fine because we can all like different things, but it's important to try new things to find nutritious and delicious things that we like to eat that are very healthy snacks for us. All right, Miss Rusalina has picked out another good story for us today. Let's head on over to the story couch. Now that we've had snack, it's time for a story, and Miss Rusalina has picked out a great one today. Have you read this book before? I remember reading this as a kid, and I remember that it was a very good story with a few things to teach us. I hope you'll enjoy the story and learn something new today. A Bargain for Francis by Russell Hoban, illustrated by Lillian Hoban. It was a fine summer day, and after breakfast, Francis said, "I am going to play with Thelma." "Be careful," said Mother. "Why do I have to be careful?" said Francis. Remember the last time? Said Mother. Which time was that? Said Francis. That was the time you played catch with Thelma's new boomerang, said Mother. Thelma did all the throwing, and you came home with lumps on your head. I remember that time now, said Francis. And do you remember the other time last winter? Said Mother. I remember that time too, said Francis. That was the first time it snowed, and there was ice on the pond. Thelma wanted to go skating. And who came home wet? Said Mother. You or Thelma? I came home wet, said Francis. Yes, said Mother. That is why I say, be careful, because when you play with Thelma, you always get the worst of it. Well, said Francis, this time I do not have to be careful. We are not playing with boomerangs. We are not skating. We are having a tea party, and we are making a mud cake. Be careful anyhow, said Mother. All right, said Francis. Frances took her dolls to Thelma's house. She took her alligator doll. She took her elephant doll. She took her snake doll and her teddy bear too. As Frances walked to Thelma's house, she sang, alligators, bears, and me are very fond of drinking tea. The elephant and the wiggly snake are happy when they eat their cake. Frances and Thelma made a mud cake. They put daisies on it for frosting. Then Thelma got out her dolls and her tea set. I am saving up for a tea set, said Frances. I am saving all my allowances. This is the best kind to get, said Thelma. It's plastic and has red flowers on it. This is not the kind I want, said Frances. I want a real china tea set with pictures on it in blue. The tea set I want has trees and birds and a Chinese house and a fence and a boat and people walking on a bridge. I used to have that kind of tea set, but all I have now is part of the teapot. The rest of it is broken. That is why that kind of tea set is no good, said Thelma. The cups break, and the saucers break, and the teapot, and the cream pitcher, and the sugar bowl break, and then the tea set is all gone. My tea set has red flowers, and it does not break, unless you step on it. Well, said Frances, I am saving up for the other kind. How much do you have saved up? Said Thelma. $2.17, said Frances. How much does the tea set cost? Said Thelma. I don't know, said Frances. I am sure they cost a lot, said Thelma. It will take you a long time to save up all that money. I know, said Frances, and I wish I had a tea set now. Maybe I will sell you mine, said Thelma. I don't want yours, said Frances. I want a real china one with pictures on it in blue. I don't think they make them anymore, said Thelma. I know another girl who saved up for that tea set. Her mother went to every store and could not find one. Then that girl lost some of her money and spent the rest on candy. She never got that tea set. This is what happens. A lot of girls never do get tea sets, so maybe you won't get one. If I buy yours, I will have a tea set, said Frances. You said you didn't want it, said Thelma. And anyhow, I don't want to sell it now. Why not? Said Frances. Well, said Thelma, it is a very good tea set. It is plastic that does not break. It has pretty red flowers on it. It has all the cups and saucers. It has the sugar bowl and the cream pitcher and the teapot. It is almost new, and I think it costs a lot of money. I have $2.17, said Frances. That's a lot of money. I don't know, said Thelma. If I sell you my tea set, then I won't have one anymore. We can have tea parties at my house then, said Frances, and you can use the money for a new doll. Well, maybe, said Thelma. Do you have your money with you? I'll run home for it, said Frances. All right, said Thelma. I will think about it while you run home for your money. Frances ran home for her money. When she came back, Thelma said, I will sell you my tea set. Frances gave Thelma her money. Thelma gave Frances her tea set. No backsies on this, said Thelma. All right, said Frances. No backsies. Frances went home with her tea set and her dolls, and she sang, A plastic pot can pour the tea for my dolls and friends and me, just as well as china. Red is just as good as blue. Plastic cups are all right too, just as good as china. When Frances got home, she showed the tea set to her little sister Gloria. That is a very ugly tea set, said Gloria. What's the matter with it? Said Frances. It's ugly, said Gloria. It's a nice tea set, said Frances. It's plastic, said Gloria. It has red flowers. It's ugly. I like the china kind with the pictures all in blue. You can't get that kind anymore, said Frances. They don't have them in the stores. Yes, they do, said Gloria. They have them now at the candy store. My friend Ida got one yesterday, and she showed it to Thelma. So Thelma knows they have them at the candy store. They cost $2.07. Frances walked slowly to the candy store. She looked inside, and there was Thelma. Thelma gave the storekeeper her money. The storekeeper gave Thelma a china tea set with pictures all in blue. Thelma did not see Frances as Frances walked away. Frances sang a little song as she walked away. Now that plastic's what I've got, backsies are what there is not. Mother told me to be careful, but Thelma better be bewareful. Frances thought about no backsies all the way home. When she got home, she put a penny in the plastic sugar bowl of her tea set. Then she called Thelma on the telephone. Hello, said Thelma. Hello, said Francis. This is Francis. Remember, said Thelma, no backsies. I remember, said Francis. But are you sure you really want no backsies? Sure, I'm sure, said Thelma. You can never you mean I never have to give back the tea set, said Francis. That's right, said Thelma. You can keep the tea set. Can I keep what is in the sugar bowl too? Said Francis. What is in the sugar bowl? Said Francis. Never mind, said Francis. No backsies. Goodbye. Francis hung up. Francis waited for the telephone to ring, and when it rang, she said, Hello. Hello, said Thelma. This is Thelma. I know, said Francis. I just remembered, said Thelma. I think I had something in the sugar bowl. I think it was a ring. Did you find a ring? No, said Francis, and I don't have to tell you what is in the sugar bowl because you said no backsies. Well, said Thelma, I just remembered that I put some money in the sugar bowl one time. I think it was some birthday money. I think it was $2 or maybe it was $5. Did you find money? You said no backsies, said Francis, so I don't have to tell you. I don't have to say how much money is in the sugar bowl. Well, said Thelma, it is my money and I want it. Do you want backsies? Said Francis. Do you want your tea set back and you will give my money back? I can't, said Thelma, because I used the money to buy a new tea set. There is only a dime left over. I will give you the new tea set and the dime. The new tea set is the china kind you want. It has pictures all in blue. You said they don't make that kind anymore, said Francis. This one was very hard to find, said Thelma. And I think it was the very last one in the store. All right, said Francis. Bring it over. Thelma brought over the china tea set and the dime, and Francis gave back the plastic tea set. Then Thelma took the lid off the sugar bowl and saw the penny. That is not a very nice trick to play on a friend, said Thelma. No, said Francis, it is not. And that was not a nice trick you played on me. When you sold me your tea set. Well, said Thelma, from now on, I will have to be careful when I play with you. Being careful is not as much fun as being friends, said Francis. Do you want to be careful or do you want to be friends? I want to be friends, said Thelma. All right, said Francis. Then I will give you halfies on the dime. Francis and Thelma went to the candy store with the dime. Francis bought bubble gum and Thelma bought lifesavers. Then they went back to Francis's house to skip rope. Gloria came out to turn the rope and skip too. You and Gloria can skip first, said Francis to Thelma. I will go last. Thelma skipped first, then Gloria, Then Frances skipped and she sang, 1 for plastic, 2 for China, 3 for yours, and 4 for Mina, 5 for tea, and 6 for cakes, 7 for elephants, 8 for snakes, 9's a trip to the candy store, then comes 10 and 10 skips more. Backsies 1, backsies 2, backsies are no fun to do. Careful once, careful twice, being careful isn't nice. Being friends is better. Then Frances and Thelma shared their bubble gum and lifesavers with Gloria. What did you think of that story, friends? Did you learn something new? Do you think it's better to be careful or to be friends? Those are some good thoughts. I hope you can always be friends with your friends, but sometimes we have to be careful anyway. But hopefully we get to be friends more than we have to be careful. Did you notice what was happening with the money as the story was going on? Do you remember how much money Frances had? Got some good memories out there. Let's count the money. $1, $2, a dime makes 10 cents. If we add a nickel, that makes 15 cents. A penny makes 16 cents. And one more penny makes 17 cents. $2.17 is what Frances had. Is there a different way we could count the change? We could use nickels. How much is a nickel worth? This is the coin with Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello on the back. They're worth 5 cents. So let's count them. 5, 10, 15, penny makes 16, and another penny makes 17. 17 cents. Is there another way we could make 17 cents? Did somebody say pennies? This is the copper coin with Abraham Lincoln on the front. How much is a penny worth? 1 cent. How many pennies would we need to make 17 cents? That's right, 17 pennies makes 17 cents. Now, I thought that the dollars were in dollar bills for Frances, but could she have had other coins to make a dollar? Perhaps. She could have used quarters. Do you remember how many quarters make $1? 4 quarters makes $1. 10 dimes also make a dollar. 20 nickels makes a dollar. And 100 pennies makes a dollar. So there are different ways Frances could have had her money, but maybe the easiest way was to have dollars and coins. Now, what happened? Thelma went and used the money from Frances to buy a new tea set. Do you remember how much that new tea set cost? $2.07. Now here is an important question. Which is more, $2.17 or $2.07? Which one is more? $2.17 is more than $2.07. Do you know what the difference is between $2.17 and $2.07? I think there are some math whizzes out there. The difference is 1 dime. That's right, 1 dime. That's how much money Frances got back when she bought the new tea set. She had some change. Now, I'm very grateful to hear that Frances and Thelma were able to figure out their problem with the tea sets. Was it kind of Thelma to do what she did to Frances? No. Was it kind of Frances to do what she did to Thelma? No. Perhaps this can be a reminder to all of us and how we treat our friends or perhaps our siblings. But I like the way the story ended. Frances and Thelma decided that this wasn't how they wanted to treat one another, and then they went to the candy store together. One of them picked bubble gum and one picked Lifesavers. I wonder, friends, what would you pick at the candy store? Those sound like some delicious choices. They might not be nutritious, but quite delicious and tasty as a treat. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story time and that you will join us back here next week for another story time. It was so great to spend time with you today, friends. Bye!